What's up, folks? This is Josh here from Inside Wrestling Truth. I'm back tonight with another video. It's another If I Was the Booker of Wrestlemania. And tonight we're going to do Wrestlemania 8. This is going to be the last one that I do. I didn't change a whole lot on this card, but I did mix a few things around. I used everybody that was on the card. I made a few more matches, a few more different things. I think would have made the pay-per-view better, and at the time it would have gave the people what they really wanted to see. My opening match of the night would have been Tito Santana and Skinner. Just an opening match, you know. I left both these guys on the card, really didn't know what to do with them. I said, fuck it, I'll put them in the opening match. Of course, I would have had Tito Santana go over. Then I would have left the 8-man tag match. That would have been my next match. It was on the card, and I left it on the card. It is Big Boss Man, Virgil, Sergeant Slaughter, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus the Nasty Boys, Repo Man, and the Malley. And of course, I would have the faces go over again in this one. Once again, another match that I left the same was the Natural Disasters and Money Incorporated for the tag titles, but I would have had Natural Disasters win this one. That would have been my difference. Top and Rick Martel I would have left the same as well. I think they mix good together. I had for a good feud. I don't think Rick Martel gets the proper respect he gets for everything he did in the business, and talent-wise, he was just amazing. Now here's where I mixed the card up real good. And I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, but this is just if I was the booker, and this is just my opinion. The first match that I would have mixed up, I would have had the Macho Man versus Sid. Because I never really remember these guys working each other, but I think if they had a match, Macho Man could have made Sid look like $1 million. And I just think it would have been better than Sid and Hogan. Although WrestleMania 8 was great, you know, Macho Man won the belt that night, but he didn't have it very long. And yeah, I would have had Macho Man versus Sid. You know, and then after that you could have made some moves to get him the belt. Then I would have had Shawn Michaels. If you remember, he opened the show against Tito Santana. But I would have had the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels versus Owen Hart, which would have been superior. I mean, it would have been a top-notch match. Anytime you put two guys in the ring like Shawn Michaels and Owen Hart, you know you're going to get some magic out of that. So I would have put them two, you know, versing each other. Then a match that I made on here was two guys I never remember seeing working each other, but it would have been a classic match if they worked each other, and I would have had to put them together at WrestleMania 8. And you could even raise the bar a little bit and made it a career match. I would have made it a career match. Bret the Hitman Hart versus Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, if you remember, this was Jake the Snake Roberts, one of his last times working for the WWE, before he went to WCW, when he worked The Undertaker. But I would have had him work Bret Hart in a career match, and that would have been for some good TV. Then my Intercontinental title match, I would have had Roddy Piper, the Intercontinental Champion, versus The Undertaker. Once again, two more guys that I never remember working each other. But I think Undertaker could have brought the best out of Piper. And I would have Undertaker taking the Intercontinental title. You know, I know these are two faces, but if you remember, Bret Hart and Piper were both faces too when they worked. Well, I would have Undertaker and Piper for the Intercontinental title. I think it would have been more entertaining. Just watching Piper cut a promo for the Undertaker would have been awesome. That's just my opinion. That's just what I would do to try to make the pay-per-view more better. And then, of course, the last match, the main event, was the match everybody wanted to see in the WWF, but we never got to. And it would have been the WWF title. I would have had Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan. Of course, Hogan would win the belt. But it would be a short reign. Like, I would have him win the belt, and I'd have him drop it really soon after that to Macho Man somehow. I would figure a way to do that if I was a booker. Because everybody wanted to see Flair and Hogan. They were the two top guys from the 80s and the early 90s, and that was what everybody was talking about. We never got to see it at a WrestleMania, and I just think that would have been great. You know, you could have even had it where Mr. Perfect turned on Flair and Hogan won, and you could start a battle. You could start a storyline between Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect. But it would have been, I think those are some matches that you could rearrange storylines and fuse and made it better. This was a hard one to, it was really hard to sit down and think about this, but I'm not going to be doing any more. I was going to do WrestleMania 9. I looked at it. There's not much I would change there. The only thing I would change at WrestleMania 9 would have been Yokozuna leaving with his belt instead of Hogan coming down and beating him. And then I was going to do WrestleMania 3. There's not much to change there. WrestleMania 4, like I said, I could have did that, but the only thing I really could have did there was make better matches in the tournament. I still would have had Macho Man and DiBiase in the final with the outcome, the same outcome. Same thing with WrestleMania 5. There's not much I can change there. But I hope y'all guys enjoyed it. I have more videos real soon. I don't know what else, but just keep checking in, keep subscribing, get your money and pay your bills. Peace.